Welcome back to another Mayor's Minute. Today, we're going to talk about a subject that's been very popular on a lot of citizens' minds, which is signs in the right-of-way. And as an example, we've got some behind us for our current Havelock City Commissioner race, and that's going to be the first one we talk about. If you don't recognize the lady next to me, she's been on podcast on Mayor's Minutes with me before. Katrina, welcome.
Thank you.
Katrina is our Planning and Inspections Director and our expert in all things signs in DOT right-of-way. So let's get started, Katrina. First things first, I think there are two categories of signs we got to talk about. One is the political signs that you see this time of year, and the other one is regular signs like yard sale or products for sale, business advertising.
Right.
The reason we want to talk about them separately is because they have two different sets of rules.
Yes.
Okay, let's start with political signs. Run us through the basics on where a political sign, what size a sign can be and where it can be in a DOT right-of-way. Let's start with that.
Okay. Thank you, Mayor. Appreciate it. Let's see. We're out here on the median, and we see many of the political signs where they can be. They need to be 3 feet in from the edge of the pavement, and they can't be any taller than 42 inches, which is 3.5 feet. The size is fine. This is pretty much the typical size of them. The ordinance and the state statute even says maximum of 6 square feet. So these are all fine there. And they're supposed to be I already said that, 3.5 feet tall, 42 inches high. So those are in 3 feet. They're no more than 3.5 feet tall. They're smaller than 6 square feet. And they need to be positioned such that they are not obstructing a driver's view at the intersection, and they can't obstruct each other.
Right, so I can't walk up and be like, I don't like that candidate, I want to put mine in front of it and just cover the sign up.
Right.
Okay, if someone violates any of those, let's say, which by the way, just a little sidebar, when we are dealing with a city race like this for commissioner, or in 2 years when it's mayor and commissioner, every candidate that signs up gets a package from you.
Yes.
Or from the city, and part of the package is from you, and part of that package explains all of everything you just said in detail, quoted by ordinance and by general statute.
Yeah.
Okay, so if a candidate puts that out and it's in the wrong spot, it's too big, it blocks the other candidate, what can you do and what can you not do, Katrina? As the city, what can we do?
We can, broadly, we can notify the Board of Elections and remind them to send perhaps a message out to the candidates that we did include the information in the packet, that they need to review it and make sure that their signs, collectively, all of them, meet it. If it's just one, candidates in particular, they don't meet it, then we need to notify them of that. We, by state statute and by the local ordinance, we can't remove them ourselves. The city does not remove the political signs.
Okay,
we don't touch them.
So we can talk to the Board of Elections and make sure they're passing information out.
Yeah.
We can contact the candidate directly and say, hey, just FYI, your sign is too big, your sign is too close to the edge, you're obstructing view,
any of the points,
safety.
Mm-hmm.
We cannot as a city, and that means you, Planning Inspection Department, Public Works, Public Utilities, we cannot remove a candidate's sign.
That's right.
And we do not remove candidates.
We don't even want to be seen touching them, because we don't want it to look like we're doing it.
And that's by law.
Yes.
Okay, there's a short window that's allowed, and just for reference, it's about 40-ish, 45 days, depending on the year and when early voting is. But these signs can go out 30 days before the early voting starts, and then they're supposed to be removed 10 days after voting day. If they are not removed 10 days after voting day, at 30 days after voting day, then we can go out and pull the sign up. Anyone can.
The state law and the ordinance says anyone can.
Okay, so that's our political signs. And that's really just one time a year, every couple years, but we've got a lot of questions. We wanted to explain that. The other one, if I want to put out a yard sale sign or a widget for sale sign or any of that in a DOT right-of-way, is that allowed?
No.
It is not allowed. So I could put a yard sale sign in my own yard.
Yes.
But I cannot come out and put it in the DOT right-of-way. I can't put that I sell pieces and parts or furniture or anything else out in the DOT right-of-way. Okay. this is where it's a little different. What do we do if someone does put a I sell widgets sign out, or I put a yard sale sign in a DOT right of way like where we're standing? What do we do?
Right. Okay. We have a staff member that patrols the right of way for illegal signs. That staff member will pick them up. We house them beside the dumpster, and we do, we do notify the business owner if it's kind of their first try here in the area and they don't know that we don't allow them. We'll reach out to them and let them know we have your signs. Come on, pick them up. That you're welcome to come get them, but please don't put them out in the right of way again.
Okay, so they're not allowed in the DOT right of way, and partially because they're not accepted. They don't get the exception like the political signs do. And if we find them, we pull the signs. We do bring them back to the planning and inspections area as a courtesy. We call those businesses and say, hey, come pick your signs up. If you still want them, we know they cost you money. Yeah. And then you guys have a conversation with them that says, hey, this isn't allowed by, not by our rules, by state general statute and by our own ordinances as a And so we say, because it's not allowed, don't do it again, or we will continue to pull them up.
Yes.
Okay, so that's the 2 types of signs. That's kind of how it works. If you want more information, send us an email, you can call us at City Hall. You can talk to Katrina. She would love to go over it with you in more detail if you would like, but that's the basics. Let us know if you got more questions. Y'all have a great day.